Panda, can you hear me? Panda, can you hear me?
All right, guys, what's going on? Let me know if you can hear our guest in the Discord chat.
Hey, man, it's .com.
And actually, what I'm probably going to do is turn game audio down just so that people for sure can hear you.
Yeah, for some reason, I can hear you great on Discord, but I cannot hear your voice hardly at all on the stream.
Yeah. And that's what's happened before, man. And I don't know why it does that.
Yeah, no worries, man. I can back out.
No, stay on. Stay on.
All right, I'm here.
There's got to be a way people get it to work all the time. I'm just missing something. Hey, Dave, are you able to hear me loud and clear?
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. Okay, so Dave says in Discord you should be able to turn up his voice under the settings in his name if you are in a channel. Okay, Dave says I am perfect. All right, cool. Let's figure this out.
We're gonna get there.
I don't know if you remember, Hidden, but we had this issue before, and then we ended up switching it over to Skype, and that ended up kicking ass.
Yeah.
Here we go. User volume. All right, I'm going to turn you up as well, Hidden.
Pump up the volume.
All right, let me know if there's an improvement there, guys, in the chat.
All right. Hello. Hello. Origins check 1 2. Origins check 1 2.
Or just check 3 4.
John Hall says, Panda. What's going on, John Hall?
Bro, you should read.
Doing?
You should read my comment that you asked if I was excited for the update. I've been waiting.
All right, so I'm cranking up the desktop audio. Keep talking, guys. We're going to get the balance on this figured out. This is my first time trying to get this to work, so.
Yo, yo, yo.
So, Hidden, how many different games do you play?
A lot, bro. A lot. I'm kind of ADD when it comes to gaming. What about yourself?
All right, so Dave
I'm
Langer
good stuff.
says that is good. Perfect. So I think, unless somebody tells us otherwise, I think that everybody can hear you guys just fine. So before we proceed, let me get caught up on the chat real quick. So Hidden says, my nips are so hard for this update, Panda. I ran face first into a sliding glass door. My nips alone would shatter the glass. That's a high degree of excitement, Hidden. And John Hall says, I missed your stream the other night. How's it going, man? You ready for this update? Dude, I am very ready for this update. Jabroni says, if you have Dave Chappelle in the chat, you're the best No Man's Sky streamer. Okay. Not sure what that means, but I'll take it. All right, so there's not much we know about the update, right? So it's just kind of cool to like think about what might be coming. We know it's something new. There's not really any hints. No one knows anything. And so I kind of want to use this as, obviously when I streamed last time, it was a just kind of a speculation station. Let's speculate about Origins. But this is also like a farewell to Desolation and to like the current build of No Man's Sky. So I kind of want to talk about like how the game has grown, sort of our favorite features that have developed to this point, maybe things we didn't like so much and things that we wish would change as we sort of transition into Origins, which I have a feeling is going to drop tomorrow, just because of how much Sean Murray's been tweeting, especially today.
Right.
So have you played much of Desolation, Hidden?
I have. I've done a lot of the abandoned freighter missions. Like I feel like so, yeah. I mean, it's not been like my favorite, but I mean, the abandoned freighter addition to the game has been like a lot of fun and much needed. So another thing I'm also enjoying of what they've added is the rare anomaly things that you can find in space with like those like weird. I've seen some pretty cool stuff in the No Man's Sky community on Facebook of stuff that like people are like finding out there, which I think those are pretty cool.
Yeah, some of the things I kind of want to have a point, right? Like when I come across, remember when you would come across, you and I talked about this before, but you'd come across the derelict freighters before in one of the updates before Desolation, but like you couldn't do anything.
Couldn't do anything, right.
And then they kind of added that. So I hope they continue to do things like that so that the things that you encounter, there might be like a point to them or a purpose that they serve. John Hall... just real quick. So John Hall says, correct. Something small but significant, a thing to be built upon, and I can't wait. I don't know shit about what it has, but Hello Games never disappoints. No, and it's just crazy how long that they've continued to work on this game and built upon this experience, right? So they're never giving up, and they're always listening to the community. Dave Langer says, Sean talking about sandworms makes me wonder if they actually put them in the game. Yeah, that Dune reference was, it would make one think that, wouldn't it? I can't see him name dropping them, having the title of the update Origins and not having them. And Jabroni says, I think it's the first creature update to do the sky snake in the background of the art. That's true. So it does have that sky snake, and I noticed like a crescent sort of space debris formation in the top left that was kind of neat looking. We got Levi chat says, hello travelers, good evening. What is going on, Levi? And then Hidden continue. I'm sorry, man.
I honestly, I forgot what I was saying.
It's all good. It happens. All right, so we're going to jump over to Delta Vista because I haven't been there in like a year, and I think that the FDI has been continuing to work on bases there. Is that right, .com?
Yeah, there are several. I'll jump over to the station right now and warp over.
All right, cool.
Mine won't show up if I'm not there because I'm on Xbox.
Got it. I'm trying to remember the name of the space station there in that system. I don't know if I have a waypoint directly to it. It's been so long since I've been there.
All right. You want me to shoot you an invite?
Ah, there it goes. Delta Vista. I found it. The stream is going to be kind of iffy, guys, because I'm on Wi-Fi. Normally, I would connect via Ethernet, but there's an issue with my Ethernet adapter on my laptop. I was getting speeds of like 5 megabits a second when I should be getting like 1 gigabit. So there's that. So everything is going on Wi-Fi right now. So I apologize if it looks a little shitty, but it's just what we got for today. Dave Langer says, from what Sean said, it sounds like it would be a Foundation type update. Yeah, he linked it back to Foundation, and if you look at that grid with all the different update artwork, there's only 4 squares that. So basically, I guess what I'm getting at is Atlas Rises, Next, Beyond, and Origins all have the same design language in terms of like the art style that their logos are made out of, and all 4 of, well, 3 for sure, right, were like major overhaul, foundational changes to the game's overall, like what you do and how it functions. So I'm thinking that Origins is a lot bigger than they're really like leading us to believe. Oh, shit's about to get critical here. This place has got so much like stuff on it. Oh my god.
It loaded in fine when I was here with Wizard and Chip Sidious.
Okay, well that's good then. I think the issue that we had when we first tried this experiment here was that we didn't go enough units away, and so everything was just too close together, and I think if we would have spread it out a bit, it would have functioned better.
Right.
Dave Linger says, looks like a gas giant in the background. It does, but we've speculated that before in other artwork, and it never really turned out to be, but I'm hoping this time it is. But yeah. Oh, Stone Gear says, I don't think so. The living ship counts, but it's a ship, you know. What's that in reference to? Oh my god, we got Richard Huntington in the chat. Says, huzzah, at the Hidden Panda Show. What is going on, dude? Richard Huntington's a legend, by the way, guys. So if any of you guys are not subscribed to that channel, like, click on that, subscribe to that. That guy's a day oneer. He's been streaming this thing the whole way.
Since the beginning. I saw him a long time ago.
So
shout out to Richard, bro. What's up? Thank you for joining in, man.
Just chilling, just got back from getting groceries and took the dogs out for a quick pee. Nice. Nice. Alright, so I think I gave it plenty of time for things to start kind of popping in. We'll take a look around.
Good to have you here, Richard.
John Hall says, dude, are you at Delta Vista? Yeah, man. Yeah, just checking it out. Like, it's been, I would say, close to a year since I physically have been here. It's been a while. Oh, those are the structures that I built back there. Okay, and then that's Chimp Sidious's, like, what was that? Tower of Mordor or whatever. Let's see. I know Stark Wolf was like hoping that it would be like a major sort of combat update. Hidden, I know that's something that you've been wanting for a while. Are you hoping that there's some sort of some combat element, some new enemies to fight? Hidden, are you still there? Nope. John Hall says, I wonder if we will ever be able to do what we wanted to do there. I hope so, man. Richard Huntington, I'm your new subscriber. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Like I said at the end of my last stream, like if you want to support this channel, the best way to do that is supporting all the other channels that came before the Hidden Panda Show. A lot of them are linked in my description. Those are channels that have been doing this either since launch or not long after, that are smaller channels that have smaller communities that are dedicated to the game and the community that are very, very active. And they gave me an outlet to create this channel and create Hidden Panda Show and to do this. And so, the best way to support Hidden Panda Show is to support everybody that helped make this happen and that supported my channel. Back when me and Hidden had 3 subscribers and 2 of them were our personal YouTubes. All right, let's go check out Chimp Sidious's. Oh.
Oh, that's starting to load for me now.
Is it loading up for you?
Yeah, 2 towers.
Yep. Got Bruce Zolo in the chat. Says, Mr. Hall, what is up, sir? Stone Gear says, in Brazil it's 1:34 p.m. now, so it's very late. Was just waiting for news. Sean Murray tweet, damn oranges. Dude, it's right around the corner. I was hoping that there would be like a trailer today to sort of give us like a sneak peek, and then in the morning we would have the update. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the way that it normally goes is like, at least in the United States, is when we wake up in the morning, there's the trailer, and then the update follows shortly. Within a few hours of the trailer having been released. Is that accurate, DK?
I honestly have no clue what the time frame is here in relation to when it uploads there. No clue.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
California.
What part?
Southern California, Orange County.
Dude, I'm from San Diego.
Oh, wow. Right on, man. I went to San Diego State.
Okay, you ever heard of a place called Escondido?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You're just a little north.
Yes, I was born in Escondido, but most people don't know that, like, where it's at, so I just say San Diego because it's pretty much San Diego.
Right on, man. Yeah.
That's what's up, dude. Hell yeah. Okay.
I'm hanging in there.
I heard you, bro. I left in 2003 and came out to Nashville, Tennessee, and now I'm like country life all the way.
Yeah, I'm about to be joining you with that.
You should, dude. It's a good change.
He's moving to Texas.
I'm moving to Texas here in the next couple months.
What part?
Looking to go just outside Wichita Falls.
Right on.
So north
that is.
central.
But that's cool.
Yeah, small town too.
Right on. Well, best wishes to you, bro.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Everybody's moving to Texas, man. Even Joe Rogan came out here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the only thing I miss about California really is the weather. Like, I really miss the weather.
I've actually never been to California.
Oh, man.
Do you think they're going to do like a universe reset for this update? I kind of hope they do.
I do and I don't. I've been so pleased with everything that HG's done update-wise. And obviously I came into the game 2 years later than you guys did. But, yeah, I'm very happy with everything they've done in the past. So I'm just hopeful that they'll stick to that trend for me. I mean, you guys know my biggest thing was crossplay. They gave that to me. Yeah. I'm as happy as a clam now.
Yep.
Dude, I still remember DK when I got it on Xbox, when I got No Man's Sky on Xbox, and you and I were able to play for the first time together, and I still have those screenshots. And like I look at them every now and again, and that was kind of a cool moment. Like, just you and I being able to play, and then the fact that like they went and made it crossplay compatible so that basically the whole community gets to play together now. That was such a big move, and it was really like I was hoping for it, and I felt like it was going to happen, but I'm so surprised that Sony actually like let that one through.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Whose base are we at right now?
This is Chimp Sidious's base.
Dang! Now I see why you said the Eye of Mordor. Now I get it, because this didn't pop for me at all when we were over at that other building.
Yep.
Now I get it. Now I got it.
And that's something I haven't I've been kind of wanting to talk to since the community's here. How is the pop-ins when you go to like other people's bases? I haven't played in quite some time.
Well, this isn't a great example because there's a lot going on here. We actually had to like stop construction on it because there's, I don't even know, like 7 to 10 bases, like individuals bases.
Yeah.
And so it's,
And they're all on this little island.
yeah, it starts locking up bad. You're not even seeing all of Chimp Sidious's base. I mean, at one point before they made the additions with the power and some of those changes, it literally looked like a little city with like corridors and alleyways. And I mean, he had it like really done up. The whole thing's not loading as it should.
Well, I'm actually not able to watch the stream and be on this at the same time, so I stepped outside. I'm actually sitting by a campfire right now. The last campfire.
Well, let me tell you what I'm experiencing from this. When I was here previously, most of these bases, of course, that was like day one of the crossplay.
Yeah.
But now what I'm seeing is the base computers that are shown here. I don't see anything, just the computer. And of course, this is crossplay because these are all PS4 bases except for mine.
Right.
But once I fly up to the base computer, the bases they're fully loading in. I mean, it's taking some time to pop because these are all big builds.
Right.
But I think once I visit each computer, there may be some latency issues. But no, this is awesome. This is more of it than I've gotten to see the previous times I was here. And of course,
wow. Okay.
Those have all just been me mostly here single building my base out without Chimp Sidious or Wizard who were here initially. Tomcat also, I brought him over here one time and I think he built a base as well.
We'll see.
I bet.
So
I'm
doing
$10. I bet you $10. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I'm doing a wide shot real quick, just so the viewers can see like the number of bases that are here and how close they are. The dream of this, and don't forget what you were going to say, Hidden. The dream of this was that as you were approaching it, like you would enter the planet, and as you were approaching it, you would see sort of like a city skyline. And this is when like the speculation for like No Man's Sky cities was like kind of at a fever pitch, and the community was like, you know, fuck it, if we're not going to get it, we're going to build it ourselves, kind of thing. And so some of us in the FDI decided we'd try to build our own city, and we were like 25% successful. But you can kind of see the idea that we had going, and that we were going to have sort of this like interconnected area. And we thought that if we moved the bases far enough apart, that like it wouldn't have issues with the complexity limit.
Yeah.
But it did ultimately. But go ahead, sorry.
No, what I was saying is that I feel like once No Man's Sky comes to PS5 and Xbox Series X, that the load-in times with bases will be a lot faster.
Yeah, I think there's something to that for sure.
Yeah, well, I feel like it might be at its fastest now, and we're needing that next system to kind of like make it to where it's perfect.
Well, and you gotta
like it's doing the best it can right now, basically.
Right, and you got to think too. There can't be like a huge disparity in the game between console and PC. Like it can't be like two entirely different games. They have to have some similarities, right? So I think that, to be fair, I think the consoles in a way are kind of holding back. Like the current gen is kind of holding back what might be possible with this game. Whereas, like, if you look at what people are doing with, like, a lot of the different mods and stuff like that on PC, I mean, the possibilities are kind of, like, endless, right? So I think once we get into, like, a new, like, generation of hardware, especially with the Xbox and the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 having those, like, blazing fast SSDs, I think that, like, procedural generation in video games is going to be handled much more efficiently, I guess, with those consoles. Just to get caught up on the chat here, because a lot has gone by. Oh, dude, we got Slade Braddock in the chat. Says working lurking here. What is going on, Slade? Thanks for stopping by, dude. Stone Gear says, I don't think that they will reset again until something really big, like a brain-computer interface or something. I don't know. Richard Huntington says, it can get hairy for sure. John Hall says, it's good and it's bad. Hard to say. If someone builds too large, it's bad, but a well-crafted base is perfect. I've seen PC bases since crossplay load in perfectly. Oh, wow. Okay. Like crazy complex big ones? That's nuts. Dave Langer says, I think this is a big update if they are saying it's the foundation of something to come. Yeah, they're kind of linking it to that and saying that, like, it's something new. Like, they're doing it like there's something new. And I was talking to Hidden about this over the phone. I think that what they're saying, I think the game ultimately is going to look very similar to the one that we have, but I think that what we do and how we do it is going to fundamentally change. Like, I think they're going to add a whole lot of new gameplay functionality, potentially a lot more variety and things like that. I mean, I think that we're getting, this is an overhaul update. Like I feel it. I feel it. And like the crazy part is the other morning, before Sean Murray even tweeted anything about the, you know, oranges and all that, I told Hidden, I said, dude, I think something's coming. I think it's coming soon. I think we're about to hear about something. I feel it. And then like that same day, like an hour or two later, like Sean Murray like hit that Twitter. I'm telling you, I think that like every No Man's Sky anniversary, we've gotten something, right? Fairly big. And I don't think this is any different. Agent Tomcat says, you can still see my hill tower. I can't anymore on any save. That's weird. But you know, Hidden lost his save file when he got a new PlayStation console. And some of his bases, especially the one that's in the FDI hub, it's still visible. You can see it, even though he's got a completely new save and everything. His old bases are still visible to us. It's kind of weird how that works. But he probably can't see it. Unless he's in a lobby with somebody who can, which is such a strange, weird thing. Stone Gear says, talking about pop-in, I believe this will be gone in the upcoming next-gen consoles. Yep, literally we're just talking about that. I think those SSDs and some of the custom things that they're doing...
it's going to speed it up, dude.
Yeah, I mean, they were specifically talking about that when they were announcing some of the features of the PlayStation 5. They specifically talked about procedural generation technology, how it could be vastly improved on with these new ultra-fast drives, how load times were going to be significantly cut down or non-existent. And I think that that's going to have a trickle-down effect across everything. Like, not day one, but once they learn how to optimize these games on that stuff, I mean, draw distances are going to be a lot larger. You know, pop-in is going to be reduced, you know, in a massive way, I think. John Hall said, they said it's a smaller update, but a foundation to build on for the next stages. So it will be significant, but not big, if you get me. I could see that. And Hidden, we were talking about that today. Right.
I did. I said the same thing.
Yep. Because Foundation didn't have a lot of features, but it added, like, when they added base building, before, your only choice was to explore. Your home was your starship. And when they added base building in Foundation, it changed everything, because now you had the ability to settle. And so the way you played the game potentially was very different. And so I think that we're getting something at that level, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think that there's a whole shit ton of features coming with it too. Like, I think it's going to be huge. But if it's
so let me go ahead and speculate on one. Yep. I want to put it down in the books right now on this stream and if anybody else is with me, please smash that like button if you agree to this. Better and more base building parts. Simple as that. That's what I'm really hoping for in Origins. Like, the one thing that I'm going to be like looking at when I see Origins is base building parts. I need new and better. I know that they've added some stuff here and there, but like, it's nothing. I don't know. I just need better base building parts. I don't know. Anybody else with me?
No, I'm totally with you.
Yeah. And I think they add like and I think they do that with almost every update at this point. Like, recently they added like these triangle pieces that allows you to build like
Right.
domes.
But that's just one piece. I need like I need more, bro. I need more.
I know, but the game can't be too many different kinds of game at one time, right? So I think they got to be careful when they're kind of getting to that. Like you can't be a space survival exploration game, but also be like Minecraft at the same exact time. So they have to be kind of careful so that the game continues to have like a solid identity.
Right,
Yeah.
but variety and base parts wouldn't hurt though.
No, it wouldn't hurt at all. But I just
And I'm talking about like variety. Like I don't know. I just want some like other stuff to like build with.
yeah. Well, and everybody's gonna have like a different opinion, right? Like the base game that came out, I liked that lonely exploration feeling, and even now to this day, when I play this game, it's very seldom that I play with other people. And I like that about No Man's Sky. And when they added the base building, I kind of did it and I dabbled and I played around with it, but I was never really that serious about it because the exploration piece is like what I was most interested in. And so so I've kind of like recalibrated a little bit, and I've said to myself, you know what? I don't really want to build any planetary bases. I kind of want to put my resources into building a base on a freighter that's got the resources and all that stuff that I need, and that's just going to be my home. It's just going to be my mobile home. Because in the new update, if they give us like planetary variety, like biome and flora and fauna variety and all that, you best believe I've been stacking warp cells. I've been making and storing warp cells, so that I can just hit it. Like as soon as the update drops, I just want to warp, and just start seeing all the new stuff. You know.
Yeah. Now I am a believer that we are getting like multiple biomes on planets. I really do. Like that picture alone in the Origins picture, if you look closely, the red character is in the red square, but the two opposites have merged over to the other side on each left and right side. Like I think it's yellow and green. Like the yellow is in the green spot, the green guy is in the yellow spot. So like, what does that tell you, bro?
Yeah, and I don't think that that's necessarily just like an artistic choice. Like the middle avatar.
There's meaning behind that. There's
Right.
meaning behind that placement.
The middle avatar technically has his feet in all three biomes.
Exactly.
But I'm hoping they do that. .com, what do you think? Are you hoping that they like? Do you see a point or a purpose in them sort of doing like a multiple biome kind of thing?
Absolutely, it's something we've been asking for.
Yeah,
I would totally enjoy seeing that. Like I said, I feel honestly like HG's done me solid. As far as I'm concerned, they can do no wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that I'll be very happy with whatever they offer.
Very true.
And that will absolutely not let me down at all. I would love to see something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things recently on Twitter was somebody, when all this buzz started to happen about a new update and about it was an article that was posted about how Hello Games was like working on another game, and the article was like, can Hello Games be trusted to release another, because of the hype and everything with this game. And there were still people that were like being negative about like the No Man's Sky release and saying they lied and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, at this point, who fucking cares? You know what I mean? They gave us more than they promised at E3. We have way more shit now. They continue to work on the game. We're 4 years deep into No Man's Sky with I don't even know how many patches and like 12 major updates at this point. It's like at some point you gotta chill. How many season passes have you bought for other games?
Panda, I got a stack of 10 Warp Hyper cores for you.
Oh, snaps. To be honest with you, I don't even know what a warp hypercore is. I'm making old school warp cells. Where are they at?
One hypercore will restore 100%. So you don't use them until you're down to 0 left in your warp drive. And you put 1 in and it puts you at 100.
Holy shit.
Bruh. Speaking of hyperdrive, and then I'm going to get caught up on the chat, but I want you guys to stew on this, and I'm gonna ask you guys what you think about it. But I'm going to get caught up on the chat first. Let's see here. Oh, it looks like Dave Langer actually posted the quote of what Sean Murray said. So 4 years ago, we announced Foundation, our first major update for No Man's Sky. We promised it won't be our largest update, but it's the start of something. Those words were true at the time, and they ring true for Origins. We call it Origins because it's the beginning of something new as No Man's Sky continues to grow and evolve. Yeah, so in retrospect, I can kind of see how somebody might think that it's not going to be a big update, but it's going to, whatever features that they're adding are fundamentally going to change the way that the game is played. So it's not,
which is pretty exciting, dude. That's like just hearing that, like, oh man, this is like,
I mean, I'll take that all day.
Yeah.
Levi says, I just looked at Sean Murray's Twitter and he posted a thing about iPhone, Android versions about 6 hours ago. Yeah, I downloaded those and posted them in the FDI. They're just wallpapers. At this point, he's just messing around with us. So he's posting stuff out there. I mean, the one thing though that made me think that this update was going to be unbelievably massive and they're downplaying it is, look, I'm going to go out on a limb here, but what is Hello Games like known for people outside the No Man's Sky community? Overhyping a game, right? Then Sean Murray himself posts an article that talks about can they be trusted after overhyping No Man's Sky, right? Then he announces Origins, but he downplays the size of the update. So it's almost like he's purposely doing the opposite of like what might actually happen. So, and you know, that's just like baseless theorizing by me, but I feel like all of those things are him just kind of playing with us, and that this update is bigger than he's letting on, and that he's downplaying it on purpose, and that all of those things are like hints to that.
Yeah. I mean, it would be a smart tactic.
Well, we also need to add in the fact that he reported how he wished he could have gone back and not overhyped the initial release because he felt like they made some mistakes making announcements and overhyping it there. So it could just be that it's a dose of reality and trying to intentionally temper himself.
But see, here's the thing. A lot of people were disappointed when the game came out, and I'm a day one player. I've been playing since 2016 when it first came out, day one. And I heard about the game in 2013 in a Game Informer. I saw like a little article about it and was obsessed with just after I read it, I was like, fuck, what is this game? And literally I looked into like everything I could on YouTube, and it took so long to actually find stuff. And that's where I found CobraTV. And I saw numerous videos of way before the game came out of Sean being like, yo, everything's not going to be in the game at launch, but it like over the updates. So like, we'll start adding all that stuff. So when I saw all that, I was like, the only thing I'm really expecting is to land on a planet, take off, and go to the next one. If it doesn't have that, I will be disappointed. But if it does, then I'm fine, and I can wait for the rest of the game to come. So when I saw all the backlash, I instantly knew, okay, well, most of these people probably didn't dig into the game like I did so hardcore and try to find every video possible, and that's why it got by a lot of people. But Sean clearly did say this stuff is, and that stuff did not get heavily covered for everyone to see, and that was the mistake, is not making sure that all of what he said gets out. It was just those certain interviews when certain people were interviewing him and he would be like, oh yes, it's going to have this and this. They just used those videos and didn't use and show all of the other videos where he's clearly saying it's not all going to be there at launch, but we are working on it.
Well, there's a couple things to that, and to be completely fair, yeah, I mean, there is footage of him out there and articles and, you know, video of him saying that. But at the same time, their studio got flooded. They lost a bunch of data. They were under a lawsuit for the super code they had pressure to release from PlayStation. They kept delaying it. Fans were sending them death threats because saying that you better not delay the release of the game again. I mean, people were like, going crazy, right? There's nut jobs out there. And Sean Murray literally said that they knew that they were releasing essentially an unfinished product. He said it was like they're on this rocket ship and they're flying toward the sun, but they're building the rocket ship on the way up. And so if you think about what that analogy means, he was basically saying that, like, we released the game unfinished and we were building it as we went. And that was the intention, because they had gotten to a point where they couldn't continue to delay the release of the game. They had a bunch of different setbacks. It was a financial hellhole, right? And they had to do something. And
yeah, just scrambling to do the best they can.
Right. And so when you think about that, you can say, yeah, that's kind of shitty that he did that, but at the same time, what choice did they really have? And so they released it. They and I think that's why they stayed quiet. I think they knew what was going to happen. They released it. They stayed quiet. They didn't say anything. They didn't want to incite any more anger or anything like that. And then they just kept working quietly. And then they dropped Foundations and Pathfinder and Atlas Rises, and they just kept going with it. So I think, right now, they're still building the rocket ship on the way up, on the way to the sun. Like, this is it. They're doing it right now. We're part of that analogy, that experience. That's what's happening currently. Cuz Walt is in the chat. What is going on? We got Cuz Walt and Dave Langer. How can we be so honored? Says, hi, Panda and Hidden. Awesome to see you guys casting. Hell yeah, dude. It's been too long. The kiddos getting old enough and sleeping a lot longer through the night, and things at work got kind of crazy with the pandemic, but all that's kind of chilling out. And so I've been able to find a little bit more time, and hopefully Hidden and I will be able to continue to do this a little bit more regularly than we have in the last year or so. Dave Langer says, Stone Gear, if they added the super formula and put the current game, I'd be fine with that. Yeah, I'm not that knowledgeable or versed on the super formula. I read quite a lot about it a few years back, but I don't fully grip sort of what that whole thing was. Like was the game built entirely differently, and then they kind of just scrap that code because there was some legal trouble going on with it, and just use a completely different code that they had to put together last minute? And I mean, I'm imagining that's what the inference is there. Bruce Zola says,
can you hear me?
"Oh, what's up?"
Hey, it's 12. It's midnight. I do have to work tomorrow.
Yeah, you're good.
Gonna have to jump out of here. But guys, it's been a lot of fun jumping on this. Can't wait for Origins. No, I've had a lot of fun.
Take care, Hidden. It was a pleasure talking with you, man.
Have a good one, man.
Thank you, dude. I'll see you guys again, man.
Take care, buddy.
Later, guys.
Later. So I was just checking my notifications on my phone, and I don't know if this person wants me to say this or not, but I'm going to say it because I don't give a shit. Richard Huntington just donated $25 to the channel. So that's freaking crazy. You did not have to do that. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. Like I said, guys, there's many ways to support the channel. Richard, I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me, man. Make sure that if you're not subbed to Richard Huntington, that you guys go sub. And I'm going to drop a hashtag Richard Huntington in the chat because that's just freaking cool.
Yeah, 07 Richard.
Yeah, dude. Oh, my God. Let me see the chat here. It's been so long since I've had other people. You're going to have to excuse me, DK. It's been so long since I've had other people on the stream that it's I forgot how to manage my time. Stone Gear says, imagine if No Man's Sky have the graphics of the hand-drawn art in the next gen with ray tracing and all. That would be crazy. You know, I don't really know what ray tracing does. I need to read up on that. It's not something that we've had on console, and I don't have a gaming PC. Totally just got whooped up by this weird creature. Oh my goodness. All right, Betty. I didn't even have to hit him directly. Just the vapor trail in that thing killed it. Let's see here. I don't know if you saw that, but like I was like 3 feet away from it. I didn't even really. Dude, that's a deer. This is a deer. All right, that's awesome. Oh, one thing I really like to see. So from the E3 trailer, animals, the movement and their behaviors was much more fluid and realistic looking, and I really would like to see that in later versions of No Man's Sky at some point. That is one thing. Other than that, I don't really care about the E3 stuff, but that is one thing I would like to see. Dave Langer says, Hidden Panda Show, me and Stone think they are giving us the super formula. I don't know about that. That would be crazy, though. Like, what if that's what Origins meant, right? Like, maybe, like, you know, they got all that legal battle stuff worked out with that because that was the original code of No Man's Sky, and that's what the origins of the game was based on. Hey, you might be onto something there. That's crazy. Jabroni says, I'm beginning to think that we're reading into it too much. Yeah, probably right, dude. Dude, we got Snow Obsidian had dropped by. What is going on, dude? Thanks for stopping by, bro. Hell yeah. NoobTube got Chimp Sidious in the chat. Holy shit. Well, there's the Discord link in the chat as well for anybody that might want to jump on with me and .com. But I think I got relatively original. Yep. I think I got relatively caught up in the chat, so.
Come get some cores, dude.
I don't even know where you are. I've just been like running around randomly reading. Oh, I think I see your ship.
I'm at my base.
300 units away. Cool, cool, cool. Dave Langer says, also, if you look at the art, the left biome looks like the biome from the E3 trailer. Yeah, I've heard people saying that. I can kind of see that. That sort of like sandy desert biome. I can kind of see that. Oh, I heard myself on an echo. Weird. Stone Gear says, the patent of the super formula is expired now. That's why I'm thinking Origins will have this. Tomcat says, I thought the God Code legal issue was resolved before launch because they weren't actually using it. Yeah, like that's what I said. I think I got to read up on that a little bit more because I feel like the argument that Sean Murray made was they weren't using that code and that they had come to some sort of an agreement or settlement on what had happened there. Let's see. New biome would be very welcomed. Yeah, and I want more variety in the biome, right? So not only do I want like a new biome, I want multiple biomes on planets, but I want that to be very rare, and I want better weather anomalies. And like volcanic eruptions and stuff like that. Tornadoes. I think that'd be kind of cool. .com. I know that you didn't play the launch version of No Man's Sky, right?
No, on Xbox. I could only play after next.
That's right. That's right. So you came in when the game was sort of coming into its own at that point. If you ever get a PlayStation and you can get a hold of the original old physical copy of No Man's Sky, and I have it, I could always send it to you one day if you're going to be in Texas. It would take a couple days in the mail. But it's worth giving it a try. Very few people that are playing the game nowadays has ever played like the launch version of the game. and I think you should dabble into it. I think it'll be a big eye opener. A lot of things
Yeah,
were
it'd
real,
be a
real
whole
different.
new learning curve.
Yeah, a lot of things were super different. Like I've done it a couple times a long time ago, but if I were to try to go back and play the release game now, I feel like I'd be playing a different game. I'd be relearning everything.
Oh, I'd have to learn all the old names.
Yep.
For all the minerals and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, marrow bulb used to be called something else. I can't remember what it was now. Yeah, there was like multiple different names for everything. Your starship fuel was totally different. I think it was iron when the game originally came out.
It was plutonium.
It was plutonium?
Yep.
Hey, is this Snow?
Yes.
What is going on, man?
What's up, Snow? How you doing, man?
Meh. The worse for wear, actually.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I'm currently, how do I explain this? Homeless, living on the couch of a friend's house.
Ouch, bro.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, buddy. I think a lot of us have been there, though, so if you ever need anything, reach out to me, man.
Pardon?
Separate island to the left. It is on screen for you there. Just a little left. Up. Nope, to the right. That one.
But yeah, never thought I'd be able to speak to the No Man's Sky community again, you know? Oh, it's been fun. It's been forever.
Well, dude, I'm happy that you're here, man. That's cool. It has been a long time since I've had the chance to talk to you.
Likewise. Likewise. Oh, speaking of friends and all that fun jazz, I might actually bring another person into the universe, actually.
That's what's up. Yeah, I think the game is like actually become sort of like a hit, technically, because I know it had a big launch, and then it kind of like fell off, and the updates have been adding players back. But I think at this point it's kind of like a phenomenon. Like I think there's way more people playing it now than even the original launch of the game. I could be wrong about that, but I thought I read that somewhere. John Hall says, I played the day one patch version originally, then later played the 1.0 vanilla that's on the disc without any updates. Yeah, because if you got it the day of release, it updated with the day one patch. So you have to have the physical disc, and you have to turn your PlayStation Network stuff off, or at least I think that's the easiest way to do it, so that you don't download the update and you're playing just sort of like the raw release version of it. And even that was fairly different to like just the release patch.
Chimp Sidious. Oh man, that's a name I haven't seen in eons.
I know. I actually know Chimp Sidious in real life, but I haven't seen his face in eons.
Dang.
Well, not only because of the obstructions, but just life.
Life likes to kick you sometimes.
Yep. No Man's Sky is probably the second biggest comeback next to Final Fantasy 14. Yeah. It's No Man's Sky is kind of a huge deal right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then what about the last Campfire? That was kind of a runaway hit. What do you think about that? That was interesting. I mean, that game is universally well received. I don't think I've seen a negative review about that game yet. .com, do you have a Nintendo Switch?
No, my son's got a Nintendo Switch, and he's actually talking about switching over to a PlayStation. I'm going to stick with Xbox, but at least at that point, we may have one of each in the house.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That is, dude, I love this structure. This is a cool looking structure.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, there's the hypercore. I totally forgot that you even sent me that. That's awesome. Is that easy to craft?
Yeah, it's antimatter and storm crystals.
I wonder if I got the recipe for it.
It's a shame you have to know the recipe in order to craft the item, whereas in Minecraft, you have the materials, boom, you can make it. Just gotta know the correct combination.
I like how No Man's Sky does it, like with the blueprints, like and the thing is that you discover them through exploration a lot of the time, and so not everybody is going to get them in the same order, the same way at the same time, and so people like discover all the different recipes differently. There are like some recipes that I still don't know, and I've been playing since 2016. Like I want to say, like there was some sort of carbon recipe that you needed in order to do like fusion igniters back in the day, and I could never get the recipe, and so I just ended up making circuit boards. So Hidden, he had a fusion igniter farm, and I had a circuit board farm because I could never get that recipe. I think it was enriched carbon, but I could never get the thing that to make enriched carbon or whatever it was, so that I could make fusion igniters. So I kind of like that, just that sort of, you know, randomly coming across that stuff. Stone Gear says the last campfire. It sounded like I was from Michigan for a second. The last campfire is beautiful. It really is. It's chill. It's like the. I described it this way before. I don't know if it's like accurate, but I feel like, remember the old Zelda games, the dungeons? It's like Zelda Dungeons. It's like Zelda, but no combat. Yeah, it's super cool. It's chill. Like I take my Nintendo Switch to work, and on my break and stuff like that, I'll play it. You know, like in between, like meeting with clients or when I get my lunch or whatever. You know, sometimes I bring my lunch to work, and then I'll just sit there and kind of have my meal and just play a little bit of Last Campfire, and I'll do like a couple puzzles here and there. I actually took a break from it because I didn't want to beat it that fast because I spent money on it, and like it's not like a fantastically difficult game by any means, and so I didn't want to get through it too quickly, so I kind of like backed off.
For asking, my friend, but what's that giant beam of light emanating from that edge of the room?
It's a light fisher.
Ah, okay, that explains it. Gotcha.
Oh, looks like Jabroni drops out of here. Good night, Jabroni.
They really pumped up the light effect with one of the recent updates.
Oh, hold on. Snow, have you played the Desolation update at all?
I have, but I never managed to get into the derelict freighters. I've had to reset because I lost access to my PS4.
Oh.
I'm now on PC and Xbox. So I had to reset.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that like there's going to be derelict freighters in this next update. I think that's one of the the single coolest things that they've added to the game since launch. It adds this.
It's essentially a procedural dungeon, which is something someone has been able to predict and speculate, which is flipping awesome.
Yeah, but they also they're playing around with a couple of gameplay mechanics in there too. So like they're doing like there's like issues with gravity. Like the gravity is all distorted, and so like when you're walking around in there, you'll see like blown apart travelers like hands and helmets and stuff like that drifting around, and when you bump into them, they go floating off.
Damn.
I think that's a mechanic that we're gonna see more of.
I hope so. I mean, varied gravity on certain planets, that would actually sound really cool. I mean, sure, lifeless planets already have decreased gravity, but still.
Well, I mean, like in space, for example, like if they're toying with those kind of physics, like maybe at some point we may find ourselves being able to do a spacewalk, which I think will be interesting. I know people have been wanting to be able to spacewalk for a long time.
Indeed.
I don't know what.
Walk around your own ship. Not that I think it's gonna happen though.
I think that would be cool, being able to. I see more of a point in being able to walk around your ship than in spacewalking. But I mean, either one would be cool.
I mean, we're able to walk around our frigates, but there's not much we can do there, you know?
Yep. Oh, John Hall says it's like having Mega Boot when on a derelict because their systems are offline. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially.
But I never figured out, John Hall, is it that, like, we have magnetic boots and that's allowing us to walk around in there because the gravity's offline, and then everything else is just kind of drifting around? So, like, is the interloper the one who's initiating that sort of gravity boot thing that's happening there? Or is that happening in the freighter? John Hall says magnetic boots. Okay. I mean, I was just kind of pretending in my head that's what was happening. Oh, what was that, DK?
I got to think that's it too. Mag boots.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, with the artificial gravity systems offline, how else are we going to stay on the ground?
Dude, Remus is in the chat. What's going on, Remus? Dude, I'm having such a hard time keeping up with everybody. That's awesome, dude. Thanks for swinging by. NoobTube, that sucks, man, that your mic won't work. You might have to select it. Like, if you're using a headphone, you may have to select your audio input device for voice. That's what I had to do with mine. So, like, my input and output device is my microphone. So, like, I actually had to select it. So maybe you've got to do something like that, dude. I'm just hoping that, like, at any moment now I'm going to get, like, a notification from, like, Hello Games Tube. It's like...
Hello?
Hey.
What?
Is it Chimp?
You serious, my good sir? It sure has been a long time, my friend.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just heard Chimp.
I thought I heard him too.
He's an enigma, a figment, an aberration.
The simulation's breaking down, my friends. Origins is becoming sooner.
I hope it drops tomorrow because I'm off today and tomorrow. Well, I guess it is tomorrow now because it's midnight.
Yeah.
I'm off Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So if it were to drop today, that would make me most happy, seeing as I'm already off and we'll be able to play it. Ooh, go. Mic won't work in Discord for some reason. Bro, I heard you, dog.
You may have to go to the settings on your phone to enable voice chat. That's what I had to do initially.
Yeah, did you hear that, bro? Because I heard you for a split second.
Hello?
There he is.
I gotta, what I have to do, Chimp, is I gotta go in and turn you up, I think. Because you're coming in a bit low. User volume, and boom. All right, go ahead and say something, Chip.
How is your mom?
I can hear you, but you sound far away. John Hall says, if I could only have a single thing addressed in the game, it would be getting water on Moon's back. We lost that in Next.
What?
Now that I think back to it, yeah.
It. Holy flip is right. Pardon my altered voices. I'm sorry.
Next was
it's-
one of the best feeling updates the game has ever had because it totally changed everything when you think about it. So like you could see your ship in third person when you were flying around. That wasn't a thing before. You could see your you had a customizable player avatar that you could see in third person. That wasn't a thing before. They like all the stuff had like they actually had like scale, so things were the appropriate like height and everything like that. And next was one of like in terms of the way I felt when it happened. That was one of my favorite updates ever. And if Dave Langer's still there, there was some trailer that Dave Langer like commented in the chat that whoever was watching our stream that day would have been one of the first people to see the trailer for one of the games because it was accidentally released ahead of schedule, and then they took it down and put it back up later. But anybody that was watching our live stream at the time would have seen it. It was kind of this weird thing that had happened that was super cool. Hell yeah, man! Lush moons with oceans were my favorite biome type. Yeah, I've been on so many lush moons, but I completely forgot that at one point they were able to have water. I totally forgot about that.
I honestly didn't notice.
Yeah, they did. Moons were treated just like planets. So they had the same. They could potentially have the same biome as like a planet would have, but it would just be considered a moon. And actually, the atmospherics on my last stream, John Hall, if you just scroll towards the end of the stream, I was going through some of my screenshots from like previous versions and of the game, and in those screenshots. The planet atmospherics in Pathfinder and Atlas Rises was far superior to what we have now. The only drawback was when you actually got to the planet, it would look fucking nothing like it did from space. But in terms of like the look, especially the look of a planet from a moon was far better as well. I'm a lush snob. Most people haven't noticed, but Rainbow Sherbet had pink lakes, for example. Yes, and officially, Rainbow Sherbet was before Next happened. It was Hello Games stated that it was the most beautiful planet in the Euclid Galaxy. So John Hall has the distinction of having placed the first settlement on what was the most beautiful planet in all of the Euclid Galaxy, and that's according to Hello Games.
It's shocking when you hear that from Hello Games, stating that even though they were the ones that made the game, stating that someone besides Hello Games has found the most beautiful planet in the game.
Yep.
That's spectacular.
I mean, I still have videos of it, and I did. I made a farewell montage of the last few bases that I had the pleasure of visiting before Atlas Rises updated to No Man's Sky Next, and I still have screenshots and clips from that video of Rainbow Sherbet, and to this day, I mean, it is like. I would love to see something like that come back. I mean, it was back when within like a short distance, you could have 3 or 4 different colored grass types, and everything was bright and colorful. And it's kind of hard to explain. It's something that you'd have to see, but it was really cool. John Hall says, "Yeah, I think you can still see it on the Galactic Atlas, as you should be able to." Dude, we got all sorts of folks over there. It was awesome. Yeah, man. I mean, we were doing. Didn't we have like? There was like a race that was there too, wasn't it? There was all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I think so. From Semtex, isn't that right?
Yeah, there was like an exocraft race, and then John Hall had a farm there. Man.
Yeah.
Snow Obsidian, you go that far back with No Man's Sky?
Yeah.
Damn.
Let me tell you, I came in to No Man's Sky on Foundation update. I may not be a day 1 player, but I came in after Foundation was released, and I continued my gameplay throughout that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you'd been playing that long.
I mean, I've had my ins and outs, but yeah.
John Hall said, "Too bad we only had 4 weeks with it. I found it a month before next. I know, but that's what makes it extra special. That's why it sticks with you."
Cherish those moments.
Yep. Richard Huntington says, "What region is that in?" Rainbow Sherbet? Yeah, John Hall, what region is that in? See, I want more of these kind of planets. Like, I like these. Everybody always disagrees with me because most people like lush planets, but DK, I want your thoughts on this. So, my argument is that everybody complains about variation and how it can be improved. And aside from adding like new assets into the game that would improve variation, which is an obvious one, I think that if they were to just simply make like most planets like this, just wastelands, either desert wastelands or frozen wastelands or, you know, what have you, but just inhospitable, just really rather shit planets that are really uninteresting. And I think that it would drive you to explore, and that the moment that you would discover those lush planets, they'd feel much more exciting and much more special. And because they were more rare, you would also have the simulation of having experienced greater variation. What do you think about that?
I think there's something to that, but I also think that that's a double-edged sword. At the same time, I feel like that would really only hook the people that were really already into exploring, and the rest of the folks, it would just be, it's too hard to find the good places, forget it.
That's a really good point. God damn it. DK with the good points. What the hell are these things? I don't think I've ever seen these.
Oh, you mean the glowing crystals?
Or what? Just whatever this is. These like little glowing
They're
star things.
They look like glowing sodium plants.
Oh.
Those are the underwater. I think you get cytophosphate from them.
Oh.
Something like that. By the way, your life support's dying.
Yep. I have a bunch of like oxygen capsules or whatever they're called, so I'm good. I could like literally just stand right on this planet, and as long as I had access to my inventory the entire time, I could probably go like a couple of real life like weeks before my character would actually die.
Dang. But what I find interesting about these parched and deserted planets is that they have two forms of temperature, hot and cold. I believe that's the only planet that has that, or only type of planet that has that situation.
Well, and it's pretty realistic if you think about it, because like a desert gets really cold at night.
Mm-hmm. What are those? Those little crystal things?
Dude, these sentinels are
light.
hostile. Oh my god. What is this? Organic rock.
Hmm. Okay.
I got
Oh, I've seen that
more
before.
dice.
They're rare.
Slade Raddick says, Panda, do have a... Oh, good day. Wait, what? Do you have a permadeath save yet? I do. I realized very quickly that permadeath is not my thing.
I thought survival was bad.
The consequences are too dire.
Like, you had one shot.
Yep. I like having my normal save where I can, you know, slip up maybe here and there, and I still have all my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Permadeath is stressful, but I could definitely see why so many people like permadeath, but It's not my thing.
Too much.
But it does give a true survival element to the game. So there's that. Because you literally, if you do not survive, you are in effect just completely dead.
It's like, because if you're surviving in space, you die, you dead.
Yep. You don't get a really cool flashy quote from some philosopher and then resume where you parked your ship last. John Hall says, my favorite way to play. Okay. We got brave people in the chat. Rima says, have you backed up your save yet? Yes, I have. So now, obviously not from tonight. I'll need to do that when the stream ends. But I do have a fairly recent backup, especially since I became wealthy again with the help of Agent Tomcat and the FDI, because I didn't understand scrapping mechanics, and I blew 4 billion units upgrading my ship's inventory slots.
Woo!
Yeah, it was bad.
Do you guys mind if I go and speculate a little bit about the artwork in regards to No Man's Sky?
Yeah, bro, you can speculate. This is a speculation safe zone.
All right.
We don't have any crybabies in this chat, so you're good to go.
Alright. I actually posted a tweet about 40 minutes ago stating this. Has anyone else noticed that the No Man's Sky Atlas stations are getting bigger with each major update that features artwork of the Atlas station? Seems kind of ominous, don't you think? And tags Sean Murray stating, what is your response, Sean Murray?
Huh.
I literally made a tweet about that. Because you'll notice if you go onto No Man's Sky's webpage, No Man's Sky.
I never thought about that.
I mean, the only exception is No Man's Sky Beyond, but here's the thing. No Man's Sky Beyond, on their front page, on mobile, you will see that it is the same artwork as No Man's Sky Next.
Huh.
Again, seems weird. Now the Atlas is growing.
Well, I mean, the Atlas is like the central antagonist and the plot, isn't it?
Maybe? I don't know what the Atlas is.
Oh, and then going back to the game backup thing, I've got my because of PlayStation Plus, my game backs up to the PlayStation Plus cloud. So if all else fails, I can re-download the most recent save in the cloud back. So I'm good if I have learned, and this isn't directed at you, Slade, but I just know you've had issues with this in the past. I have learned from other people in the community how badly an update in No Man's Sky can affect a current save, and so I take many steps to create redundancies and mitigate that. Slade Braddock says, "Same. We got to get Panda down, gents. Down with what? Down with permadeath? I don't know about that. What were you gonna say, DK?
I can tell you from my experience, I've learned not to leave my game save in the Nexus. On 2 different occasions, I've lost access to one of my saves for weeks because of it.
Oof.
Yeah, the Nexus kind of screwed me over. It happened a while back, so I don't remember the full details, but it had to do with my food processor. I had a bunch of stuff stored inside my food processor, and I went to go down and claim a base somewhere. And I had put my food processor down, and I went into the Nexus, and something had happened with the baby, and I saved it and was going to get back to it. And everything was fine, but the food processor was gone, and all the inventory that was being stored in it was gone with it. And I had all this like different food and bait and all this stuff for like, you know, doing different weekend missions and mounting creatures and everything. So yeah,
Yep.
That pissed me off bad enough that I didn't play for like 2 weeks.
I've had that happen to me, but the workaround for me was I just built a new food processor. I lost mine. I laid it down somewhere and forgot to pick it up. And I do the same thing. I keep all same kind of stuff in mine. So I use it mostly for just storage for that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But I forgot where I put it, and I was beating myself up, and I said, oh, well, I'll just build a new one. Built a new one, and everything was in that one.
Oh, I didn't even know that. So, like, if I were to build a new food processor right now, my inventory would still be there?
I would imagine so, if this is the same save, yeah.
Bruh, let me try that right now. Hopefully I got the components.
Here's another interesting concept.
So I need 2 metal plating, a hermetic seal, and sodium. Okay.
What did visions entail? Like, what did it provide? Because I'm noticing something, a pattern. Again, strictly on the artwork.
Pull up the patch notes. I don't actually remember. Oh, there was hermetic seal. Was it not? Yeah. All right, let's build that food processor. I'm gonna be so angry if it was this easy, DK.
No, you're not. You're going to be happy.
How do I see that cargo again?
Drop it back down on the ground, and then open up the large black bar at the base.
Access. No way, dude. Man.
What?
I didn't know it would do that. Hey, that actually kind of made my day.
See, I told you you'd be happy.
Yeah. I did not know that. I just assumed that, like, all of the different, like, you know, baits and food things that I had in there, they were just gone.
Yeah, I was afraid that was what happened to me, too. And I said, oh, well, screw it. I guess I'm resigned to it. Built it and went, oh, sweet.
Yeah, John Hall concurs. He said, yeah, the nutrient processor is like a storage container you can access from any number of actual processors. Did not know that. I have to be the world's worst day one No Man's Sky player. I don't know any of the mechanics. I'm constantly like learning. That's why at the beginning of my streams I used to tell people, like, if you're here to figure something out, you're on the wrong stream. You need to go watch Sword, because like you're not gonna learn anything from me. John Hall says, I'm in Galaxy 11 on permadeath right now, exploring and hoping to find an alien multi-tool worthy of finding an S-Class.
Here's...
I do like
my own thing on your stream.
I do like that they added the ability to evolve like frigates to S-Class, and you can do the same thing with like components in the living ships, and I want to see that that expand and grow as well.
Am I here?
Wait, you can upgrade your living ship components?
Yes, so you can evolve the components in your living ship. So it can start at like a Class C, and you can evolve it with resources to a Class S component.
So cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's sick. It's like one of my favorite mechanics of the living ships is like that evolving component. Hidden, or not hidden, Chimp Sidious, I heard you. But like very briefly.
Hey!
There you go.
Hey, I'm here.
There he is.
You've been here, my friend.
I have. I've been like kind of just lurking in the back, listening to your voices.
That didn't sound creepy at all.
It's okay. It's okay.
Come on, it's not creepy at all.
Look, don't make it weird, man.
But I'm always gonna make it weird.
Don't
We're
make
all
this
gonna
weird.
make it weird. I'm the definition of weird.
All right, I like this island.
Like, try and think of any situation in life where like you could say that and it wouldn't make it weird since you said that.
Is that Remus?
No, that's Jim.
It was chill.
That's
Like
fine.
when in life could you look at someone and honestly be like, "Don't make this weird," and it wouldn't just like immediately make it weird.
It is Remus.
It with a straight face.
I think that would just make it even more weird because then like you're being really serious about how weird you don't want it to be, but like.
How many times can you see the word weird in the same sentence?
Hey guys, so
It's
this
like
is
saying no cookies.
this is the legendary Remus here, who
Remus.
yes, he had a reputation in the past. I don't know if he wants to sort of show people what he's about, but he would swoop in on my streams and kill me, and pretty efficiently and nearly every time. So it kind of made the streams interesting.
Well, Remus, are you here to just like piss on everything? No? Not here to kill him yet? Yes. Just waiting. Waiting until you feel really good about something and you're gonna find something
here's the
really
thing.
neat.
Here's the thing. If Remus wants to fight someone, he's going to have to fight me. And you all know me.
Oh, yeah,
Well, I
really.
mean, is that really fair though? Like, I mean, Remus doesn't have a fucking like Egyptian
Here's
god,
the
does
thing. Here's the thing. I don't have that anymore.
What? What happened? Did you lose your save?
I lost my system, which happened, I think.
I guess that makes
No,
sense. I heard you
I'm
explain everything earlier.
And I haven't been
Ooh.
playing since before Living
I
Jim.
am getting lit up.
Oh my god. What the fuck is this Jurassic Park island you decided to just die off?
Dude, I'm putting a base computer here because there's a rainbow in the background. I got this little island that's in the middle of the ocean, and I'm really digging this. And I'm going to build it out of wood because why not? And I'm going to confuse all the people that find it because they're going to be like, where did he get this many trees?
That's funny.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Dude, Blaze javelin him from a distance.
Ah, he's got the,
The
the
Blaze
cunning
Javelin now
use.
have a spread thing? Like, is it not pinpoint aim anymore?
I need to get the S class upgrade that increases the charge time or decreases it. Yeah, he's hitting me with that scatter blaster. That thing's epic.
Oh, Scar Blaster's the way to go now?
I mean, honestly, this might sound kind of eccentric in expectations, but I feel like with Origin being, like, what is this now, the third major update installment that they've had? Fourth? I guess, yeah, because, like, the really old ones, I'm not always going to remember, because I wasn't around for those. But, like, so that being the case, and all the smaller updates that they've had, like in between them, with like just like little add-ons, and like they all came with their own dozens of patches that ultimately ended up like refining or changing other aspects of the game that we didn't necessarily expect to get impacted. Like, you know, obviously, like the most commonly talked about aspect being the multiplayer aspect, and how many people would be able to, you know, cross paths, so to speak, and so. Like, that's actually something that I haven't heard a lot of people speculating about, but, like, I don't know why they haven't assumed that something with Origins might have to do with their original promise of it being a multiplayer-based universe, and there are 3 character models right there on the image. and that's not really like common for any of the animations for them to have like multiple travelers just like standing next to each other like that.
You know, he's right, because back in the days of Next, you have 4 players. Now there's 3.
So like it's
Stone gear is out, guys. Have a good night, Stone. I actually have not. I apologize. I have not seen a fish like this yet. Magic Within says monkeys be like, where banana?
Dude, those look like birds underwater. What the fuck?
No, but dude, wait till you see this fish, man. I've not seen one like this. Alright, I need this oxygen right quick. I can't lose him.
Yeah, it looks like he's punking you pretty good.
This
There he
dude's
is.
hauling it, man.
Dude, look at this thing. This guy's eating, dude. This is a tertiary predator right here, dude.
Wow,
There you go. Oh my god, look at him go. Oh, dude, look at
him.
Oh, man, what the what?
It looks like a miniaturized version of that abyssal beast.
Dude, it looks like the thing that tried to eat Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon when they were taking Jar Jar through the whatever those Gungans called that place.
Remus, did you think this was just going to be a cute swim along? I lured you down here.
How could you betray?
I will lead you down here. You will die with the fishes.
I'm gonna die down here. I'm drowning.
Do I have any background noise or feedback on my end?
Nah,
Who you?
I don't hear
No.
echoing. It's all good.
Oh my god. I'm dead. I'm dead.
Oof. Oh, whoa.
Huh. Fair, maybe that'll help with any of that feedback you might be hearing. There we go. Blink.
Like his room is like right behind me. Oh my gosh. Okay, this planet has very interesting oceans.
Yeah, they're really bright.
Yeah, I'm definitely putting a base computer down here.
Place be like a underwater Vegas Strip.
And then like Origins hits, resets the universe, and this planet's just like a pile of trash.
Yeah, there's like literally just trash in the ocean. They add like pollution.
What? And there's like a shallow pond right here, dude. This is perfect. That's perfect.
I like it in this place. I can't do a Jar Jar voice.
That's dope, dude. It's like a pool right there. You have like an infinity pool.
Oh,
Right there.
Magic Within dropped oranges in the chat. Does that mean something?
Uh-oh.
Or are we just conjuring?
Oh no.
Okay, we're just conjuring.
No, we're just hallucinating.
Okay.
We're seeing what we want to see, not
Awesome.
what's actually there.
Oh, base computer.
These are not the oranges you're looking for.
good.
Dude, I love that image that Peaceful Gamer posted on Twitter of the like he redid the poster for the update. Oh, that was so perfect. All right, let's drop base computer.
I really wish I streamed 10 days ago. You wanna know why?
I need chromatic metal.
I also have a feeling that there's probably, and I mean, I just feel like it would be common sense that there's going to be some kind of a change or maybe a like refinement to some of the HUD interface, like especially at least with like minor blueprints. Maybe not even like with like the excessive like deep base building aspects, but with like your mobile technology and stuff. Like I expect there to be a couple of things that they change or improve just because they had such a massive deficit in the content production of their user bias when they reneged it and went and like changed it. That like I just feel like as a development company, like you'd be pretty foolish to like watch that make a direct effect on your players' usage, and then be like, yeah, fuck it, just leave that flat tire, whatever. Like I just don't feel like they're gonna leave it that way, but that might just be me dreaming.
Who else just caught that? Looking at the aerial view of the sonar test thing,
What did you see?
Oh, sorry.
you will notice large craters inside the water. That's trippy looking.
Oh shit! You hear that, Panda? You gotta go and find these. You've got like an asteroid field.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, when I claimed the base. That's why I'm naming it Crescent Crater Island.
Hell yeah!
Yes, good one.
Yeah, come and like
Cove instead
come
of
and
island.
live in the place that was once death.
Okay, hold on. Should I do... So, Snow brings up a good point. Should I do Crescent Crater Island or Cove?
I feel like
I mean, that alliteration is kind of nice.
yeah. Yeah.
Let's hit it. Let's do Cove.
What if you could find another word for crater that starts with S, then put island, then you can put that as an acronym for the CSI, Citizen Science. Nah,
No.
never mind.
I like Crescent
CSI,
Crater Crescent Crater Cove. Man, that's hard to say. Saying that makes me feel illiterate.
Oh my gosh.
What? Why? Is you? Never mind. I'm just not gonna try and say anything because I'm probably gonna stutter trying to say the word and then make it even bigger fool of myself.
And then I think for it not to like get like I think if you don't build a structure, it'll like delete your base at some point, right? Or is that wrong?
I don't think so. As long
No,
as
I
you just
think-
have a claimed, it might be saved. I'm not really sure.
I think if you don't, you just have to put 5 objects down in order to upload it.
Oh, but like
Yeah,
that base
that
computer
makes
there
an
like
excellent
saves
point.
this location, right?
Yeah,
Save it
like
for your personal
Well,
profile. If you
uploading.
upload it
Yeah.
for everyone else to see. That's where you have to have the base parts.
Oh no, I'm good. I just want to
Yeah,
save this
that's fine.
place for now.
Which, by the way, I don't know. Maybe they've changed it. I mean, like this is where I feel like they would benefit from changing back to the original build mech. But if they haven't changed it, I don't think light structures work as objects, but I do know that like damn near fucking anything else does.
Okay.
Yeah, like even like anomalous objects work.
Bruce Solo says no, he dipped his nads in orange juice. And decided to
Whoa. Whoa.
Not only is that funny, but I also haven't heard the word nads since I was like 12. As soon as I read that, I was just thinking of episodes of like Beavis and Butthead.
Who?
Oh, Snow, you haven't seen Beavis and Butthead, dude?
No. No.
How old is that in the
What
generation?
is
Like,
that?
It's ageless. You just have to know what it is. The youth today. You made me super sad.
What?
I'm only 20, mind you.
I'll never forgive you. It's old enough.
What is this? Some kind of geometric coral reef? Like,
Dude, I like it. I like the shape of it. There's just something about this place.
this is so bizarre.
I like how solitary it is too.
Oh,
then-
that's the island.
Yeah.
Oh. Man, this place is crazy.
It looks kind of like Mario's hat from the first Mario game.
Ha. Ha ha ha.
And there's also
Dude,
like
that's
those weird
dope.
dinosaurs on it. But
Whoa, that big hill on the backside's covered in all those glowy dots. It looks trippy.
I have a feeling that I may end up building something pretty cool here.
Oh, dude.
Hey,
got
if you look at that from up here, if you look at the shallow part that branches off that like little swimming pond area, it kind of has like a fish or like whale shape to it. Look at that.
Yeah, I see that. I see that at the fin. Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh my
Take a
god,
snapshot
dude.
of that. That's gorgeous.
That's a straight up whale. Good eye.
Yeah, dude, I like this little plot of land right here.
Good find.
That was a win. I'm all about
This
that.
game is bizarre.
1 in 18 quintillion.
Something like that, you know.
Watch me like this one right here even more. Nah, that one's trash.
Yeah.
It's a space we
Yeah,
go.
Panda. I found an island almost. Well, it's very similar to that one. Oh, the one you just flew past. It literally is like a half circle. I found an island like that where I'm building a base right now.
Oh, that's awesome. I was on my Fiji base on Anya. I had
Yep.
there was just a little tiny piece of land in the middle of all that ocean, and then I just built that whole thing like right off the top of it. I get like inspiration for like really weird things like that.
No, I think that's cool. I like to build stuff that, for whatever reason, I feel more inspired by the geography around the place I decide I want to build a base.
Yep.
For some reason, it just makes more sense to me. So I find that really kind of dictates the way I'm going to build.
Yes, and I was hoping that terrain manipulations were more stable and permanent, because one type of base I've always wanted to be able to build, and me and Hidden have kind of experimented with it in the past, and it eventually all of the rock that you terrain manipulate out of there, a lot of it will find its way back in and kind of ruin the base. But I wanted to build a base into a cliff or a mountain with just glass windows going down the side of it, like an overlook. Overdrive subscribed to the channel. Dude, I don't know who you are, but thank you for the subscription. That's sick. Overdrive says hi. What's going on, man? That's awesome. Welcome to the Hidden Panda Show.
One thing that and like, I guess I don't know why, but I'm always going to refer to like Minecraft as a comparison to this game. But there's one thing about Minecraft that's kind of reminiscent of when you guys talk about older versions of this game, and especially when you start talking about things like like trying to find certain land features and stuff that are harder to find now because of just whatever they've changed throughout the seed engine. There is a place in Minecraft that doesn't exist anymore except for on old online servers that were purchased and uploaded maybe a decade or more ago before they patched out the bug that caused this land formation. It was called the Far Lands. It basically meant that it, like on Minecraft, unlike No Man's Sky, was, you know, so many grid by grid squares of what they had called chunks that would pre-generate as you approach them, somewhat like in No Man's Sky, but it's not several different, it's one large, massive, flat surface. And when you get to the edge of it, there's a rendering issue, I guess, is what actually happened in the code that causes this, like, bizarre, obscure, cliff-like land formation that is just, like, it's crazy. Like, it's weird. And back then, when the game was, you know, I guess, not necessarily new, but, like, you know, just, I don't know. I feel like Minecraft always wants to tell itself it's on the precipice of getting huge. But, like, like, when did everybody not know about it? Like, but anyways, yeah, like, there's, like, so much shit that, like you just aren't going to get to see. Like, I mean, I really wonder what is going to happen with some of the projects we've got going on, like the Delta Vista or collaborative farm efforts and stuff like that I'm sure a couple people are going to end up, like, working on once the update drops. Because didn't we have a little bit of an issue with getting bases to pop next to each other? Did anybody ever go back to Delta Vista and figure out what was up with that? DK, I think you did once, didn't you?
Yeah, we started the stream out there tonight.
No shit. Oh, then everything went great? I missed that part.
It loaded up fairly well.
That's awesome. I'm going to have to watch that whenever this uploads.
Fucking Remus.
No, Eagle, it is not out. Not yet.
I'm very much okay right now with Delta Vista sort of just being like an experimental prototype ground, because I don't think that anything that we're wanting to do is going to fully work there yet.
Yeah, I would think the time to really go back and be serious about it would be when the next gen stuff rolls out.
Yep. Overdrive says, good night. What time do you think they will release the update? I think that depending on what time zone you're in, you may wake up in the morning to a trailer with the update following shortly after that. Just Sean Murray's tweets, like his activity on social media in the last day, has convinced me that we're gonna have this update tomorrow. That we're getting tomorrow. I feel good about it. I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel good about that statement. He was just overly active today with all of the, or I guess technically, depending on what time zone you're in, yesterday. For me right now, it's the 23rd, so yesterday. I mean, he was, so because it's the 23rd, today. For me, in my time zone, like when I go to bed, I'm probably waking up in the morning and like all the shit went down. That's what I'm expecting to happen. It is not typical for Sean Murray to just rain tweets down in the universe like that without something happening directly afterward. We got J-Spot in the chat. Welcome, J-Spot. Thanks for swinging by, dude. Mike Tracy giving a shout out to Mr. Huntington. Still got Slade Braddock holding out. Eagle in the chat. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you.com and Chimp Sidious and Snow Obsidian in the Discord chat, and Remus. You haven't killed me yet, but it's been fun. I don't know what your obsession with parking your ship in such a way as the cockpit of mine is up its ass, because the last planet you parked it directly like that also. Dude, Remus is trolling hard, dude.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Remus
lovely.
is trolling so hard. Eagle says you're 3 subs away from 1K. I don't care about that. But thank you for noticing. I have been 1K multiple times, and then I always fall away from that because I have a 9-month-old, almost a 9-month-old, and I have not had a lot of content regularly posted to the channel. So now I'm hoping that when I do get 1,000 subscribers again, I'm able to to maintain that population. But yes, let's see, what is that? Oh, that's more Solanium. Or Solar Vine, as they call it now.
Oh.
Oh. Is this a monolith? BlueFizz54 in the chat says, hopefully Thursday, off from work on that day. Alright, so BlueFizz, I don't ever want to tell you anything bad that can get you in a lot of trouble. Okay? I don't know how old you are, what you do for a living. So just take this with a grain of salt. If the update drops tomorrow, I've used this technique when I was younger in school. I've used this at work. Get you.
Are we talking about how to pass a drug test?
No. Get you some cornflakes. Just plain cornflakes from like the good old days with the green rooster on the thing. Just get the most old-fashioned cornflakes you can get. Chew them up in your mouth. Little swig of orange juice because it looks like stomach bile, and just bled it at work. They'll send you home immediately, and then you've got all day to play No Man's Sky. Just throwing that out there.
That was nice. I get it because it would have the acidity to give it that strange like smell.
Yep.
Have that coppery tone to it, like really came from your body. That's.
And here Panda is trying to tell us
Panda,
about No Man's Sky.
Why am I not surprised? Why would I expect nothing less?
It works. It just, if you want to increase the drama, just increase the orange juice. And that's all there is to it.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Oh, Panda, you are a monster. Having too much bamboo, are we?
And he's over here trying to convince us he doesn't know anything about No Man's Sky.
What? Sorry.
I know
Who
nothing.
was that working to that?
I am noob.
Remember Noob Nation Nexus?
Richard Hutchinson rolling on the floor laughing. I like his wisdom. Plo says, what did I just walk into? Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man.
That's the technique. That's the move. Try it if you don't believe me.
Way to go, bro.
That's the move. All I could picture when you said that was David Blaine.
And if any of you people in the chat are supervisors at your job, I'm sorry that I just exposed deep dark secrets. I feel I'm being watched. I turn but can't see the potential assailant. But I know, with burning certainty, that they are there. Somewhere out there, on the alien landscape, someone is about to launch an attack. Suddenly, the words of an unknown power blaze brightly on the monolith. Touch the monolith. The monolith does nothing. Nothing. A distant crack, a bolt of thunder, the sharp stab of pain, the burn on my skin. I can't believe I said the monolith does nothing. Beyond that, silence. And Remus coming in hot with the killing.
Monolith. That's there.
I like the shape of this monolith.
Stared at the monolith, and the monolith just teared back.
I just want to stand in front of this monolith and throw a bone up into the air and then go into like a 2001 Space Odyssey jump cut to a satellite. I think that'd be really cool.
Being in the Discord and like seeing how far ahead we are from what's going on in the stream makes me want to take my eyelids and pull them off of my face.
What?
Eagle says, too bad I can't do that on Zoom. If I do, I'll get a new laptop.
That's what I was about to say, because Eagle had an excellent point. And unfortunately for you working home, fellas, you can't call off that way.
You do pretend that your internet is out after it's that.
That too, but then how do you call your coworkers and tell your internet is out when you don't have internet to call them with?
With a phone.
All right, Eagle, here's what you do if you're doing Zoom meetings. Okay? A little bit of avocado dip. Okay? Some oatmeal. A little bit of avocado dip, some oatmeal, fake a sneeze, right on the screen.
What? What?
Tell them you got to step away from the call for a minute, get you a nice little hour-long break to try the update out real fast.
You should just retitle this video "How to Guarantee 100% Play the Update When I Have to Go to Work."
I'm telling you, dude. If you want to be off on update day, Panda's got the secrets for you.
Advanced play for update day.
Advanced play for update day. I like that. That's the new stream. Everybody in the chat, Panda, I work at a machine factory. How do I get out of work? I need to play the new No Man's Sky update. Just come up with like concepts all the time on how to like fake being sick, injuries.
Right, like you like get a whole entire like serving subpoena persona like that dude in Pineapple Express did. Like you've got like movie phone voice characters to like stand in as doctors and shit for people.
I saw oh, there it is. I was like, dude, I know I saw something up here.
I mean, it's just as legit as like selling people a fake driver's license. You're just being a fake doctor for like 30 seconds on the
Slade
phone.
Braddock says, "Run, Forrest." Plo says, "What's up with Sean torturing the community on Twitter? He's a savage." Dude, I love seeing Sean Murray in this element, though. Like, just seeing him have fun with this. Like, he's no longer afraid of social media and, like, the public. You know what I mean? He's like, he can kind of just troll and have a good time. I like seeing that from Sean Murray. Richard Huntington with the avocado sneeze emoji and the computer screen. Dude, I'm telling you, that's the shot right there. Eagle says, one time in third grade, I got Nesquik powder, and I put it on my seat, and then I poured some water. There you go, man. A little bit of refried beans for good measure. You're all set.
Wow.
Gotta have some texture on there.
If you just take Nutella, and you just put like a good 3 or 4 tablespoons in one palm and just really rub it over your eyes or something and kind of just approach your manager with a kind of like really animalistic, aggressive nature. Look him like right in the eye, let him know like it's going to be you and him and this weird, obscure brown stuff all over. You don't know what it is, but you seem to be licking it up off his fingers and snarling at him.
That visual is so disgusting.
I'll send you home. I guarantee you. You'll get to go.
Alright, guys. I think I'm gonna end for the night. If anything happens, like if anything drops,
I'll hit you up on
me
Discord.
And don't stop because you know me, I want to get back into this game.
Heck yeah, dude.
Ping me, don't stop pinging, whatever you do. If I don't respond within 2 hours, ping me on Twitter.
Oh, we had TSS in the chat. TSS958 Gaming says, just stopping by. Hi, all. What is going on? I'm pretty sure I have his link in my description as one of the channels that you should check out. So he has covered No Man's Sky, but he plays more than just that. And really entertaining streams, so make sure you check out TSS958 Gaming. You can follow him on social media, on Instagram and all that other stuff. If he's not, I'm going to add him to the description from now on. But definitely click on his icon there and subscribe. Super cool dude. We've been following each other and checking each other's content out for a while. And one of my best memories of TSS 95 gaming is we were playing Wildlands, Ghost Recon Wildlands, and me and Hidden got in a really hairy predicament, and he joined in and was able to like get us out of that weird spot that we were about to get murked out in. So super cool guy, really fun to play games with. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, TSS.
Word, wizard.
What was that? I just heard word, wizard do. Let's see. What is Orange about? Gas giants, in my opinion. Orange is it just sounds like Origins. That's all it was. Because Sean Murray always posts like an emoji that has some similarity to the concept or the reason, like the main feature of a particular update. Like when he did Desolation, he did like skulls, like a skull. So he always posts like something that has to do with like the update. Well, Origins, like how do you visualize Origins? So he just did an orange because orange is close enough, I guess. So that's kind of where the whole orange meme came from.
Origins really fast.
And it's kind of funny. I think it's going to stick. Blue Fizz says, getting sick of seeing him tweet orange every time. I know, it's a lot of oranges. Overdrive says, new friends, I'll go to sleep. It was interesting to see you play. Good luck, and may the Atlas illuminate your road. Have a good night. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. And the next time I stream, I hope to see you in the chat. Have a good one. Richard Huntington says, good night, Overdrive. Blue Fizz says, any pre-order next-gen console? I cannot seem to find one to pre-order. Every time I try, they are sold out. And Plo says, what are the chances of the update coming out tomorrow? I hope we at least get a trailer. I need to know what's in this new update. I can't sleep because of this update, and I hate that I'm so hyped. I have a feeling, and I'm probably wrong, so I'm just going to preface with that. But I feel that just the sheer amount of communication coming from Sean in the last 24 hours, that in my time zone, it is currently the 23rd. I have a strong suspicion that we're getting exactly what we want today. You can take that one to the bank. So, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I just feel it. I feel that's what's happening.
Excuse me, sorry guys.
Murray next.
I like this star system. I don't know why. I like the variety of the planets that are in here. I'm kind of digging this place.
Like that weird, like those trees, like off in the distance from that balcony you were standing on, had like this weird Castlevania vibe to it. It was kind of cool.
Anyway, folks, I'm gonna call it a night. Again, ping me and don't stop if something happens.
I won't. Have a good one, Snow Obsidian, and take care of yourself.
Literally.
Yeah, it was good seeing you, Snow.
Indeed, indeed. Good to be back, you know.
Glad to have you around.
Aye, indeed. Good night.
Have a good one, buddy.
Yeah,
Talk to you soon.
Good night, man.
And Plo says, God, I hope you're right. I hope so too. That's what I said. Don't take my word for it. I don't know anything. It's completely baseless speculation on my part. But it's just I've been playing the game for 4 years, and I feel like I can pick up the patterns, and I feel like that's what's going to happen. But
you don't even see the code anymore. You just see blonde, brunette.
Love that Matrix reference. No, but seriously, like, it might be wishful thinking as well because I'm off tomorrow or today, and so like I might just be wanting it that bad that I'm making myself believe it. But I'm telling you, I just have a feeling. What is this? Oh, it's one of those like food things. Fireberry.
A food thing.
Yeah. Food thing. I liked one of that one weekend mission where you had to feed the animals. You had to like figure out the bait, feed the animals, and then collect the resources from them. I think that was one of the most
leopard fruit?
But yeah, that's it. The leopard fruit. I think that was one of the most fun weekend events I've done in a long time. Sean Byers in the chat said, Sean is playing with my heart. Why is he hyping this up so much? Is it that significant? He's not hyping it up. That's the, excuse my language, but that's the fucked up part. Is he's not hyping it. It's us. I'm part of the problem. He's not hyping anything. He tweeted oranges and said, this isn't the biggest update. We're just adding something new, basically, right? And in our heads, he just confirmed gas giants. We're getting, multiple biomes and volcanoes. Like that's how it is with Sean Murray, with this community. So, yeah, he's not hyping anything. We're hyping it.
We're cracking that whip. What do you mean?
Huh?
I said we're cracking that whip. What do you mean? Like, he's got to get it in gear. You know how this works. This is a hustle. It's like a backwards mafia. The big dude comes up with like the materials and the resources, and we give him ideas, and then he does what he wants.
No, but that's true. We do give him ideas on the direction of the game, and then he kind of makes that happen. So, in my mind, I think that we need royalties in perpetuity. Sean, get on that.
Yeah. Only replacements for things like video game controllers.
But all kidding aside, if you can handle the speculation without allowing it to become expectation, which is what a mature person would do, I think it's actually very useful and productive to the developer, because I think that this game is nothing like the game that they wanted to make us. It is something wholly different. And I think they need ideas, right, on what to make. So most of what we have now are things that we as a community have suggested or voiced that we needed or have speculated about. And so I think the formula is good, and I think we should keep doing it.
Yeah, and I think that the idea of them polling us for those ideas was quite intentional.
Yep. Exactly. So they're building the game that we want, because the one that they wanted to release, they already did. So, and again, that's why they're my favorite developer. We're not always getting everything that we want, but we know that they're always working on it, and we're always getting something. I mean, dude, for those of us that have been playing from the get-go, I paid $60 for this game one time. Well, I take that back. I bought this game like 3 times on 2 different consoles. But theoretically, you may have only purchased this game once for $60. And you've gotten 4 years of entertainment, 4 years of new content. Hello Games kicks ass. What do you understand?
I don't know of any other developers doing that.
Exactly. What do you understand by the word origin? Or I guess Bluefizz is saying, what does the word origin mean to you? If you look up the definition of the word origin, you can speculate a lot just from that definition itself. Sean Byers said, but he is definitely excited about something, right? The team must be proud. And Plo says, this game has been a 7-year relationship for me. Yeah, especially if you were following it, before release, because it was in development for so long. But yeah, they're definitely proud of something, right? But I think that we shouldn't read into that too much. I think they're more proud that they were able to get it done working remotely. I think that's sort of the biggest thing, because they've not been working on it at the Hello Games studios because of all the different, lockdown measures and all that stuff going on in the crazy world right now. So, I think that they've all been sort of in an isolated environment, collaborating probably through Teams or something like that, or Zoom or what have you, and putting together this update. And I think that they're just really happy that, they were able to kind of... That's what I think anyway. I don't want to read into that too much. I also think that this update, were it not for the last campfire, we would already have it. I think that they postponed it to not take away from that release, because they knew that their community would get excited about that, and They wanted support for that game and marketing for that game, and they were just they made us wait, because this don't get it twisted. This is an anniversary update at the end of the day. We're just getting it a bit late because of the last campfire, I think. TSS says, I don't even use a lot of the new content. I use most of the content from all. Yep. Got to run, though. Night. Have a good one, bud. Flo says, I hope Origins means getting back to the game's exploration roots. That's what I hope. I don't want to see the word E3 in the chat, because that ship has sailed. We have a very different game now. But I like where you're going. The origins of the game's exploration roots. We have a diverse community. We have a lot of people that enjoy building, and there's been a lot of building update stuff. And there's been a lot of other things. But the one thing that hasn't really been enhanced all that much is exploration. Space is relatively the same. It hasn't really had an overhaul. Planet variety is relatively the same. It hasn't had a major overhaul. So that's the one area that I think needs the biggest sort of update, especially for some of us OG players, is exploration. What can you do to enhance that experience? And I actually emailed Hello Games an idea, and I hope that they utilize it one day. But just the discovery system. I love the discovery system. When you scan something that you don't have in your system, it goes into your memory bank, and then you can upload it for credits, right? I love that system. What I don't love is when you discover a system that no one's ever discovered, and you get there and there's already a space station, freighters, pirates, there's advanced buildings, settlements, and NPCs walking around. That bothers me. So I think a really good game progression that they can have to reward exploration is that when you discover those systems, they evolve based on this. So here's a really great illustration. I just found this planet. Let's pretend like that settlement's not there. This is a new discovery. Nothing's here. So I go through and I start scanning all of these different flora and fauna pieces, these stones, all of these different resources. And as I upload this, kind of like the Nexus missions, like your weekend events and your, all that stuff, your Quicksilver missions, there's like a tier 1 through 3, let's say, right? And as you upload data from the worlds and from that star system, the tier expands. And as you go through tier 1 through tier 2 through tier 3, different things start happening. It triggers events in that star system. And one of the events is settlers move in, because you're uploading that there's useful content and useful resources here. So now the settlers, you start seeing these buildings start popping up. Okay? That people are moving here to start a new life, right? And then you see little manufacturing plants start to pop up. Now there's an economy, right? So then now we start seeing the space station show up, and then we start seeing other NPCs, and then now we're seeing the freighters. And so what that does is that rewards you for having discovered that star system. It motivates you to go discover more, so that you're not just landing and taking pictures. And I think that's a good way to keep people engaged for a long period of time. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the recommendation that I sent them. I think that for people who are really sold on the exploration piece of this game, I think that would be a significant help in terms of making that gameplay feel satisfying, aside from the cosmetic things like maybe changing some of the space physics and stuff like that. We need better space combat.
One thing I think would be,
I agree.
One thing that would be really, really interesting to see would be not only like a variant in like creatures or their frequency, but something that was truly like what you would call like unique or rare. Like you would only find said monster type deep inside of a cave or on top of like a mountain that was really tall and such a distance from like water on a planet or something. Like it couldn't just like pop up anywhere. It would take certain like elements for them to cause to be spawned, but like ultimately these would be those like harder enemies to beat that are like that, where you would have a freaking giant Leopardon just walking around, but you wouldn't just like shoot it 4 times with your laser and watch it like ragdoll on the ground. Like it would like come and try and fuck you up, and probably have maybe like 2 different like stances, kind of like how with any of the other tougher AI function, they slowly kind of break down. But,
Right.
but yeah, like finding anything of a unique stance that had to do with things like altitude or depth of sea level and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing that I think that the sea is really missing that would help everything in the ocean biome, is if they gave every type of fauna and flora a certain kind of frequency based on their sea level. It would really help to avoid like certain areas where it's just like weird stuff growing like up next to the shore, where it's like some seaweeds that's like sticking out of the ground and like waving through the air.
Right. Well, and to be fair, they've made major advancements to the ocean biome. Oceans used to be very shallow and didn't really have much in them, and there's still more work to be done. I mean, I think in terms of like the aesthetic, I think they've nailed it on the head. Like, I think there can be a couple of like cloud rendering, like from space, for example. This looks worse now than it did in like the last two major versions of the game. So I think that there's some things that they can do to kind of like, put the finishing touches on the look of it. But in terms of the game's like visual appeal and aesthetics, I mean, like just look at these mountains and stuff like that, for example. I mean, it's all there. But yeah, what they need now is like purpose, right? Like I don't know like how .com feels about that, but they need like purpose. Like, why am I doing it? Like, for example, I have an S-Class freighter. Why do I have that? What does it do? Right? Why do I have 6 ships? What do they do? So by doing like having a deeper purpose to something, combat is cool. I think it'll help the game in certain ways, but just having a purpose, like maybe owning a freighter, allows you to go places that you otherwise wouldn't be able to go in deep space because of the warp capabilities of the freighter and being able to carry your cargo with you. But one of the consequences of that is that you're interdicted by pirates far more often, and so then you need to upgrade defenses on your freighter so that when you're not on board and it randomly gets attacked in space, that it can defend itself or something like that, And maybe you get a warning on your HUD if you're on a planet exploring and your freighter's up there getting attacked by pirates or some other kind of thing, and that you've got to maybe go up there and help it out or something like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be like complicated to where it's just a simple little thing, I guess, to add like a point to it. But
even
Bluefizz says great idea, but too much coding required. And yeah, it's hard to do that in a procedural environment, right? Because it's not a game with a lot of preloaded assets. And so I watched Ines McKendrick in the 2017 GDC conference, where him and Sean Murray spoke, and Ines said one of the big problems with No Man's Sky is that if you change a small portion of the game, there's so many unforeseen problems that can occur that you may not even know about until after the update happens, that are extrapolated out into the universe. So you might increase the size of trees broadly, but maybe certain trees were in certain locations where now that's causing an issue with terrain generation, or that tree's now growing through a rock, which doesn't make sense, and so on and so forth. And so, yeah, I mean, with a procedural game, it sounds easy in our head, like, hey, give a purpose to freighters, but maybe from a development standpoint, it's like, maybe that's actually really, really hard to do, I don't know.
Well, I was going to say, like, it could be something as simple as if you call in your freighter, then anytime you go to the space station or to a trade station that isn't on your freighter, the interest rate on all of the items you want to purchase goes up. Like, as long as your freighter's in the system and you want to get, a benefit for market, then you have to do it from your own shit because, like, now you're there, your whole fleet is up in space. Like, nobody's going to see your fleet in the background while you're like walking in their store and be like, yeah, man, you must be on the rough. I'll give you 10% off. Like, no, they'll see you and your 50 ton fleet and be like, you got a little more. I mean, I think that might be potentially simple. I mean, I don't know anything about coding though.
Yeah, and when it comes to procedural, it gets even more technical because you're doing with programming what typically larger game development companies would have hundreds of, artists and things like that on. People building physics into the game and people, creating customizable components. And when you're talking about a game that at its launch had 6 people working on it, how do you do that? How do you make a game this big with such little resources?
Yeah, but we're not there anymore.
What do you mean?
Well, they're not there anymore.
You mean the size of the team?
Not limited to 6 people.
That's true. Do we even know how big their team is? I'm not even sure.
I think I've heard it 23 or 26.
Wow, so quite a bit bigger than it was at launch then. That's crazy.
They got something going on.
I mean, .com, do you think that would be a good idea, though, to sort of have an evolution type system built into system discovery?
It's funny. When you were talking about that your last stream, and then as soon as you brought it up tonight, you made me think of something that I had never, I guess, considered before. And yes, I can totally see something like that being attractive to me as a player, but I have, like you're saying, I have no clue the feasibility of something like that. I'm not a programmer, so I don't have a clue, but you made me think of something. We saw the different biomes on the cover, and we've also seen now, I believe, all of the major planet types have their own special Quicksilver plants that we can buy. What if they're going to allow us to use those to terraform certain specific areas of a planet, where we can now play a role in, you lay down some, say, frozen plants that you find in a frozen world around your base, and you can sort of have that over time will morph the native plants into being whatever plant type that you
that would be interesting.
Dun dun dun. That's kind of sick.
It's not too far from kind of what lights already do when you place them and they start to affect color around them. If they can do something as simple as that, then why couldn't they change textures of things within a certain radius of your base computer, so to speak?
I'm liking that idea. Basically, what .com is saying for those in the chat, that if you're just now joining or whatever, is what if in Origins you're able to sort of terraform the planet? You can buy these Quicksilver plants, and what if by placing them on a planet that doesn't necessarily have that biome, you can artificially create that biome in areas of that planet by those plants sort of proliferating and things like that. I mean, I never even thought of that. That's so sick. .com.
It's like a geo bomb that you would just spawn in one place. That's pretty.
Yeah, that's sick.
Clever.
So you can kind of have a little oasis in the desert that you created.
And you know what? It's not like it's unheard of. It's not like something that if they mentioned it in the studio, they'd all be like, "You're crazy." They do. They have features like that in other games.
Yep. What were you going to say, .com?
That I don't know for certain that they have released native plants for all of the biomes, but I think they have. I'm not positive, but I do believe that they have.
That's such a cool idea.
Native. Well, that's also interesting. That if that means that they're going to have a baseline list, if you will, of original plants, I think that I remember when Beyond dropped. Or I'm sorry, maybe it was next. I remember that after I looked around and like a few of the animals and the plants, like it was reminiscent in like the design and the style, sort of, but the frequency of it was a little bit changed, and it almost seemed like the filters, if you will, that they were shuffled through were kind of altered, but it was still from the same like bag of cards. You know what I mean? And like that would be interesting if this implementation of them picking like, okay, these are like the original plants from all of our different like, you know, designs that we've thrown into the little bag of tricks here, if that actually also affects a lot of the topography of the planets that we've seen, you know, because like that wouldn't surprise me that they would do that. They'd go ahead and do one more like snap and change the location of stuff like trees and bushes. They might not like revamp the whole planet, but
I mean, I think
why would they care?
I think all of that would, from a technical standpoint, would be so difficult to do. But then again, you know, like the game that they've already created is, you know, if you would have asked even a bigger company at the time that this came out if they could have done something like this, they would have seen challenges, right? And then meanwhile, you know, a couple of people in a closet in Guilford put it together for us. So I wouldn't put it past them to come up with something truly epic like that. Plo says, I think the game also needs a proper AI bump. Pirates, sentinels, and animals are too dumb at the moment. Yeah, and the animals, with one of the updates, I want to say it was Beyond, possibly, maybe even next, that the migratory patterns had some significant changes. So they veer off of their planned paths much further. Like you saw that fish earlier in the stream that I was chasing. That thing went really far away from its originating point, and you would not have seen that in older versions of the game. I mean, that thing
hunting other creatures too, right?
It was, yeah, and it wasn't eating just one type of fish. I mean, it was hunting other things. It was a predatory animal exhibiting predatory behavior, and so they've made big strides. But when you look at, and I know I said not to talk about E3, but when you look at the E3 trailer, right, those different dinosaur type creatures and that big rhino type creature, the movement and behavior seems so much more natural. And so I'm right there with you, Plo. Like they definitely could do that. They also need to increase the difficulty a little bit. It's far too easy. Now it could be that I'm on normal mode and I have everything, and so for me it doesn't seem like it's that challenging. But I feel like the game could probably be a little bit more challenging. But
yeah, you've been wearing knee pads for a while there, Panda.
For a while, yeah, because I tried a permadeath save and I did not make the cut. Like, and I did a survival save one time and I died in 18 minutes. I couldn't even make it to my fucking ship.
Dang.
it was bad. Let's see. Joel Roberts says, one second. Joel Roberts says, hey, dude, on that Origins cover art, I think those three animals look exactly the same. The original trailer, because that trailer had a big walker, but two tiny baby walkers on that desert planet. Okay, I'm going to need to revisit that picture because that is interesting. Great comment, Joel. Let's see here. Where did I leave off at? Oh, Bruce says, Hello Games, they split 12 to Campfire and 12 on No Man's Sky. That's a good point. They did have to fracture their team. I did hear about that. And it might not even be an even split, Bruce, because they're working on another game that apparently is even more ambitious than No Man's Sky. And so the team was split into 3 different directions at some point.
Good grief.
Yeah, they're working on. Apparently, there's been news articles about it that apparently they're working on something that's even crazier than No Man's Sky was at the time when it came out. Which the game is still kind of crazy. There's no one is doing procedural generation at this scale and making it look this good. Bruce Zolo says, statement from Sean a week or so ago. Yeah, I do remember hearing about that. Blue Fizz says, with PS4 or old Xbox One power, don't think any of these ideas is possible. Exactly. And earlier in the stream, probably before you joined, one of the things that we did talk about and that was mentioned was that my theory is that there can't be a huge disparity between the console version of No Man's Sky and the PC version. And if you look at a lot of the different mods that are out there and what they're able to do for the PC version, I feel like the current gen consoles are holding the possibilities of No Man's Sky back a little bit. And I feel like once the game is hopefully ported over to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, that with that additional power and those ultra-fast SSDs, that we see some massive overall improvements to No Man's Sky in general, because those machines are going to be a lot closer to PCs in terms of power and performance than PlayStation 4 and Xbox One X currently are. And so then I think, we'll kind of start to blur that line a little. But yeah, I agree, Blue Fizz. Bruzola says, end up with a universe of lush, perfect planets. I do not want that at all. I like the reward of having spent a long time not finding a lush planet and then finally discovering one. But that's
I agree. They need to be special.
Yeah, they need to be special. This is a true story for those that haven't heard this before, but I've said it like a million times, so if I'm being redundant, I apologize. But one of my first experiences with No Man's Sky in the early days is that I warped 50 times. Might have been like 53 or something like that, slightly over, but it was like 50-something times I warped as a new player before coming to a star system that had a planet that had grass. I still remember that planet to this day. It had a really fast day and night cycle, and the grass was blue, and it was the first, and it had trees, and and flowers. It was the first planet that I came across that had something on it. And when I found it, I couldn't let it go. It was and we didn't have bases and freighters and all that at that time, so it was hard for me to even leave it behind. I had like a moment with it. It was really strange. It was kind of like I didn't want to leave because it meant so much to me, and it was so cool having found it that I wasn't sure how long it would be before I came across something like that again. And so I spent time on that planet, days in fact. I kind of cherished it, and I walked around and explored the caves and all that other kind of stuff before I finally decided to kind of pack up and leave. And those moments, they're special when you have them. And new players, they don't get that, sadly. If you've been playing, anything after, pretty much Atlas Rises and beyond. Now, if you really like lush planets, you're not going to care about that. But for me, and kind of like what .com is mirroring, it needs to feel special. It's got to be rare. It has to be rewarding, the discovery of it.
What I think would be a fair trade is if they brought back the rarity, but they made it to where either in the system you spawn in or the planet that you spawn on when you first start your save, perhaps, is a lush planet or is near a lush planet, so that way when you first start the game, there's an opportunity for you to find one. It, however, will probably be the only one for some great distance.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a good compromise. What were you about to say, .com?
Yeah, I still haven't found a Diplo on my own yet.
I've never found one.
Yeah, me neither. I've seen many a Diplo since launch, but I've not discovered a planet by myself that have had them. And keep in mind, .com, that's a great feeling because I've been playing since 2016, and even though I've seen them, I've never discovered them on my own accord. And the day that I do will be friggin' awesome. It'll feel that much more special because I discovered it, even though I've seen them before.
Well, maybe a different one. That's like the thing. Like the one that you discover is going to be somehow unique. It'll be weird.
Joel Roberts says, Panda, look up the 2015 E3 trailer, and at the end, you will see those same exact 3 animals, and they exactly match up with that trailer. Plo says, I had the same experience when I found my first lush planet. It was incredible. Joel says, No Man's Sky gameplay trailer 2014. The end lines up with the cover art that Sean posted. That's crazy. I just got a message from Empty Benches. Said, glad to see you back in the skies again. That's awesome. Empty Benches is a legend. Yeah, I need to relook at this artwork, dude. You got my mind like percolating right now. That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Bluefish says that flying dragon type animal on the cover looks interesting. It does. I've seen similar things before already though in the game, like those sort of like flying worms. So I hope that whatever that is maybe a little bit different than what we've already seen. But I'm probably going to call it here, guys, when I get back to my ship, since it's just about 2 o'clock in the morning here in my time zone. I got to have energy when I wake up, when the baby wakes up in the morning. So, but man, this was an interesting chat. This was really cool. And if my expectation and my theory holds true, these are my final moments in the current version of this game, because I have a feeling that when I wake up, the new version will be available at that time. So I would recommend, and credit to whoever brought it up earlier in the chat, I don't remember now, but I would recommend making an extra copy of your save, putting it on a flash drive. If you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, make sure that you have a copy of the game backed up to the PlayStation Network cloud. You get pretty extensive save game storage, cloud storage, if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, so make sure that you do that. Because Hello Games and have been known before that when they do updates on No Man's Sky, especially any major updates, that they have the potential to brick your save entirely, or there's a lot of bugs or issues that make it to where you can't even really play. It happened to Slade Braddock, who was here in the chat. I mean, there was one of the updates that came out where his save was virtually unplayable for like months until they were able to patch it. And so just make sure that you guys, take all the necessary steps to create those redundancies and mitigate those issues. So yeah, like Plo says in the chat, back up those saves. Joel says, now the word origins, do you think that reflects back to the original idea of No Man's Sky? That is a very interesting statement, because I have two different thoughts on this. And, when you look at Foundation, when Foundation came out, right, it was the foundation, for the game, like, moving forward. And then something happened where in Next, they went, like, a totally different direction. So part of me thinks that Origins means, like, maybe the origin of No Man's Sky and what the game was like before and sort of the vision that they had for that game. But they said in the little snippet, the news snippet for the announcement for the update, they said that it was the start of something new, right? So it might be the origin in terms of this new thing that we're starting, not necessarily going back to like that period of time. And I'm leaning more towards the it's the origin of something new as opposed to something from the past. But I thought about that pretty extensively. And Richard Huntington says, good idea. Backup just made. Perfect. Bruce says, glad I was able to catch a live stream. Yeah, thank you guys for showing up. It's crazy. I literally went like, I don't even know how long without streaming. And then the last couple times that, today and the other day when I streamed were my first 2 streams in a very long time. And most of you guys all showed up. So I really appreciate that. And you guys hanging out with me. Before I end the stream, chimpsidious.com, do you guys have any final words for the community?
We appreciate you, Panda.
Thank you.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah, and absolutely. And for those of y'all that are here from the FDI, guys, absolutely awesome that we're all here pumped to see this new update, because I'm gonna need y'all to go deal with all these bugs with me whenever it comes out.
Yeah,
it's people that are creators like you, Panda, that really give the community an opportunity to come together in multitude of different ways. And we can't thank you guys enough.
Well, I appreciate that, and I feel like what I do is very small in comparison to what the community at large does. But I appreciate the kind words. Chimp City has said something to me. He's a personal friend of mine that I know in real life. And he said something to me a while back when I first introduced him to No Man's Sky. And he said that the game doesn't really hold your hand at the beginning. And the what keeps you playing is the community. And I'm paraphrasing, but I feel that there's a lot of people who, not really understanding what's happening when they first play, would probably give up or quit. And it's the community kind of banding together, helping out new players, helping to consolidate and aggregate resources and things like that to help players get started, because it's a very big game that has changed a lot. This community is a very beautiful community, and it's very special in gaming. I think that I'm biased, right? But I've been gaming my entire life up to this point, since I was a real small kid. And I think personally that we have the best and most tight-knit and kindest community in gaming, at least that I've seen. And so just going back to what I said, at the beginning of the stream and at the middle of the stream, if you want to support the Hidden Panda Show, the first step is to support the other channels that preceded this one, the ones that have been grinding out since day one. Your Richard Huntington's, for example, who's in this chat. And if you're still not subscribed to that channel, that's fucked up. You got to click on that and subscribe. I have some of my top recommendations in my description. Okay, and I'm probably going to be adding a few more. But scroll through that, click on that. You want to support the Hidden Panda Show? Support those channels, because those channels supported me when it was just me and Hidden. And true story, the very first stream we did, we were excited. We had 2 viewers. We couldn't believe it. We were talking our heads off, but nothing was happening in the chat. We couldn't figure it out. And then it hit us that the 2 people watching were each of us on our phones to view the chat, because we were streaming directly from the PlayStation. So we were talking to ourselves for 3.5 hours. And that's where the channel started. And if it wasn't for channels like Richard Huntington and Boondock and Ivy Mike and Gaming Mike and CobraTV and all those guys who gave me a chance, right, and who recommended my channel, I wouldn't have a channel. So click on those links, subscribe to those channels, and if you guys follow Sword has a similar origin story. I had to talk that guy into streaming, and now he's like one of the most favorite channels for No Man's Sky players out there, right? So support the community, support each other, and dude, I have a feeling this update's gonna hit, in the next several hours, like on the 23rd, like today. Like I feel it's going down, and if it does, I'm gonna be really excited to see you guys in space. .com. It's been a pleasure having you on here. We figured out how to make Discord work, so let's make sure that we continue to do it, and that you guys, help co-host the show. Chimp Sidious, you as well. Thank you for swinging by. Big shout out to Hidden. It's been a long time since he's been a part of the channel. He went through a similar phase that I did, and so just having everybody here was just extra awesome. Shout out to Remus. You didn't kill me this time, but it was a whole lot of fun. Maybe next time, you will take less pity on me. And let me check out the last couple of messages in the chat here, and then we're going to go ahead and close it out. So, Plo says, see you guys. It's nice to see some OGs still around. Thank you. Says, this community is the best by far. I agree. Mike Stockton says, hey, Panda, just finished work listening while I drive home. Much better than the radio music. I appreciate that, man. I hate to end it on you if you're still driving, but thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you in the FDI chat. And Richard Huntington says, howdy, Mike Stockton. Safe travels. Absolutely. And you guys have a great night. It's been freaking rad. As always, I had a great time. And I'll catch you guys later on in the No Man's Sky universe. Take care.
See you later, Space Cowboy.
Thank